We're about to get buzzed, guys. Check it out. You see it right there? Good morning. It's Saturday morning. First Saturday I've worked in quite a while, but that's what happens when we're in the field. So, happy Easter. It's more than likely Easter when you're seeing this. We are going to go check some fields. And when I say we, I don't mean you and me. I mean me and Ryland. He's going to tag along for a while here today. So, we need our shovel. And we're going to get in the truck and drive to a couple of the next fields that I think are probably dry enough, but we got to double check. And if they are, we'll come back and get the field cultivator and it'll be time to go. All right, here's the field that I'm hoping we can go to. This field was prevent plant last year that had cover crops planted in it and then got chiseled under. And the wet spot on this field is right there. It's close to the driveway, so we can go and check it. If that spot is dry, I know the rest of the field's dry. And yeah, we'll see. You ready, Ryland? Let's go for a walk. Okay, so we're in the middle of that wet spot here. And it's kind of a cool spot to give a little soils lesson. Look at the cracks in this ground. This is incredible, right? So our soil, especially here, has a lot of clay contact. Well, clay shrinks and expands depending on its moisture content. And so when it gets dry, it forms all these cracks because the soil is shrinking. And those cracks then allow air to penetrate deeper and help dry out the soil. So we'll dig a little bit here and see whether or not it's crumbly. The top, however deep that is pretty good. It's hard. Boy, it's really hard. Yeah, this is good. It's not smearing. It's just a touch wet down deep, but we don't dig that deep with the field cultivator, so I'm not that worried about it. And like I said, this is the wettest spot on the farm. So if we're okay here, we're good everywhere else. Right, Ryland? Right. We will walk up on the high ground just to take a shovel full and see how that compares, but I think we're good to go here. And then we're going to go check one more field. All right, this field is good to go. We're going to go check another one and then get the tractor. At least we got something to do. There's 88 acres in this field, so that'll be a good one to do. Okay, I'm at the next field, and let's see what it looks like here. This field was soybeans last year. They got chiseled. And right here, it looks pretty good. When the dirt just breaks apart when I drop it like that, then you know it's pretty crumbly. So right here, we're good. My issue is, look at that spot up there. It's wet on top. And yes, that's the wet spot, and it's not very big, but it doesn't look good, and it's right by the road. All right, we're gonna check this little spot here. There's a ditch right there, and this is kind of some of the lower ground too. And if this is dry, we'll be good. Yeah, this is dry. Yeah. That one's just a little bit gooey. By the time I get here today, it'll be dry, right? Because this will be after the other field. I don't know. I'm going to think about this one a little bit. Okay, so that field that we were just in that was borderline, the wet spots were maybe a touch wet, but the rest of the field looked okay. I'm less than a mile away from it. It was over there by that white set of buildings. Look at the field conditions here. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but it's like wet. Like this looks like we had an inch of rain on it yesterday. It's wet. How can it be that different? Huh. I don't understand. Definitely not going here. Okay. Ryan and I are going to get in the tractor. We're heading down to that first field that we looked at. We're going to do that. Our tire guy is here. He's putting tubes in those rear tractor tires. I'm not sure if he's being a salesman or not, but he was recommending that we just change all 4 rear tires on that tractor, and we aren't spending the money on that right now. I don't really think that they need it. I thought tubes would be sufficient because there's still a fair amount of tread left on them. They just have slow leaks. You know, they're real slow leaks. So I don't know. We're gonna put the tubes on them and try and run them. If we have trouble this year, I suppose next year we're gonna be putting 4 new tires on, if not before that. But hopefully they'll run all right for another year or 2 anyway. That was the plan, but we'll see. So yeah, to the field we go. We made it to the field. You excited, Rylan? Well, we're making the first pass along the edge, and I found this rock. I thought I was going to get out and try and move it, but that's a big one. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Nope, no way. So we're going to have to bring a backhoe down here to get that one. Okay. Going well. Just getting started here, but you guys know what the worst part about riding in a tractor is, or driving tractor? All the little bumps make my pop go flat quickly, so I have to drink it fast. Which, I mean, there's worse things, but know what? Rylan, that's your name? I think it's Brayson. No. What's your favorite part of riding in the tractor? Huh? What's your favorite part? What? Off? Oh, you want your seatbelt off? How's that milk? What's on your milk cup? Dinosaurs? Whoa. What's your favorite part of riding in the tractor? You're not going to answer me? No. It's kicking me out, guys. Starting to drive. Are you going straight? Yeah. Are you drawing straight, or is the auto straight? Oh, there's a John Deere on there? Yeah. Where else is there some John Deeres? Can you find any?
There's one over there.
Oh, on the front of the hood there's one?
Yeah. You can't see it.
Can't see it. Okay, we're doing a few end rows here. There is a little bit of a wet spot along the edge of the woods here. There's one over there as well. You know, it is what it is. A lot of times this stuff along the woods never really dries up anyway, so there's a tree down we need to get cleaned up, but it's right on the edge, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. Maybe when we come down here with a backhoe to get that rock over there, we'll clean that up. So we're not done with the field. These ends are split in half on the back, so I got about half of it done. There's that other wet spot. The water kind of bleeds out of the woods here. I'm sure that some of you are probably thinking I'm an idiot for even being out here with conditions that look like that, especially on April 11th. And I see your point, but here's the thing. Last year we didn't work anything until into June. And the fact that I can work this down now in better conditions than anything we did last year, I feel like we got to get it done. 95% or more of this field is perfect. It's great. And so by getting it worked now, if we get an opportunity in 2 weeks to plant, I can just come in and plant it, and we'll get so much more done faster than if we have to wait and do the tillage. Time will tell. Hindsight's 20/20, but to me right now, this is the right call to be out here to get as much stuff prepped for planting as possible, so that when that time comes, we can just go. So that's why we're doing it. You know, clearly it's got to be good enough conditions to work, and we're not going to go out and do it too wet if we can help it at all. And that's why, you know, those other 2 fields that I looked at this morning, not going to happen today. But we're going to keep looking around and see where else we can go after this one. And if there's nowhere to go, we'll quit. But for now, we're going to keep running. This is what we do to pass the time. Squeeze. Squeeze. Don't squeeze mine. Ow! That hurts. Squeeze. we got some entertainment as there's a sprayer across the road, so we've been watching that, haven't we, Rylan? Been watching the sprayer? Yeah. And now, kid's eating my snacks. Are you eating my Rice Krispies?
Yeah.
Yeah. Things are still going good here. We're almost to the end of the field here, and yeah, things are working up pretty nice. So, what time is it? 11:52, almost lunchtime. The next field we're gonna do is probably back close to the farm anyway. So when we're done here, we'll head back there and find something to eat. I think Rylan's getting sleepy. We're on our last pass of the field. We got to do some end rows along the road and some end rows down there along the woods. Finishing the ends. We're about to get buzzed, guys. Check it out. Do you see it right there? Cool. There he goes. I don't know where he's doing or what he's looking for, but he's not very high. Yeah, that dude's definitely spraying a field or something right on the other side of the woods, because he comes right up over those trees. That is cool. I don't know if he's spraying or maybe seeding the cover crop. Could be that. Well, we're done here, so time to fold up, head back to the farm, grab some lunch, figure out where to go next. Check it out. We just got back from the field, and Phil got the duals back on all by himself. Impressive. Good job. So, that job is done. Now we can hook that up to whatever we decide we need to hook it up to. Alright, I am checking another field to see if we can come here and work. We'll walk out on the ridge or in some of the dips a little bit and see what we can find. Well, speaking of what we can find, look what we got here. Old horseshoe. Doesn't look too bad. Nope. That's what we want to see, so I think this field will go. I'll go get the tractor. I'm gonna fuel up before we head to the field, and I'm gonna just glance at the field cultivator, see if we need to change any shovels yet. Think that one needs changed? It's pretty close, I would say so. There's a few that look that way, so we're gonna have to unfold it and change some shovels before we go to the field. 164 gallons. We've done a little over 150 acres, 156, something like that. So we're using just over a gallon of fuel per acre. That's not too bad. Especially considering this fuel cost us $1.13 a gallon. Well, that means for about $1.25 an acre in fuel cost, we're getting our spring tillage work done. That's good, we'll take it. All right, well, I'm just going around and changing a few of these shovels that need it. I don't know, there's 10 of them or so. All right. Dad came out, he's taking my used shovels back, and we're heading to the field. Well, we still got dust. We're probably half done with this field. Doing a really nice job taking out this volunteer wheat. As you can see, there's not much visible over there. So, yeah, all is good. This is a good time to catch up on my Off the Husk podcast that I've fallen behind on, so it's my entertainment for the afternoon. Making progress here. I'm in the short rows behind that house that you can't see through the dust because the dust is so thick because it's dry. But yeah, we just got to get over to that fence row where them trees are there, and then we'll have this field knocked out. So it occurs to me that one of the things that I haven't explained very well is why it's so important that the ground is dry when we work it. I know I've talked a lot about checking the fields to make sure the conditions were right and stuff, but why is that important? And I try and on this channel explain things a little bit and not just assume that you know, because that's an easy thing for me to understand and probably most farmers, but if you don't know, it might be kind of confusing, or you know, we're not waiting or making sure the fields are dry because we are worried about getting stuck or getting across the fields. We're worried about compaction. So a healthy soil is comprised of about 50% particulate stuffs, the minerals, what you would consider dirt, right? Organic matter, minerals, soils, nutrients, all that stuff. The other 50% is pore space, openings in that soil for air and water. And ideally, it would be 25% water and 25% air. That allows oxygen to get to the roots of the plants and for there to be enough water there to keep the plants growing. What happens when we work ground, by work I mean do tillage or plant or drive on ground that is too wet, is the water acts like a lubricant and it makes the soil particles slippery so that they press together and push that pore space out of the soil, and it compacts it. And then the roots can't find the water and oxygen that they need. They struggle to grow down through the soil, and so we want to make sure we minimize compaction as much as possible. I know I've said a couple of times about how this year's soil conditions, or what we've done so far, is better than pretty much anything that I did all of last year, which is true. I don't think we worked any ground that's as dry as what I'm doing right now last year. And were we not worried about compaction last year? No, we were. We were very worried about it. But when it's June and you haven't planted anything, you're willing to take more risk. And so we pushed things, and we did it wetter than we should have just to get it done. And we didn't really have a whole lot of other choice last year. With as early as it is right now, today is April 11th, I don't have to be out here. If it's too wet, it's not worth it. We've got lots of time for things to dry out yet. But it is dry, and so we're going to take advantage of it while it is. So that's why it's important. If you guys have questions, as always, leave them down in the comments section below. I will answer them either in the comments or in future videos and stuff. I really appreciate all the feedback that I get from you guys. While you're at it, leave me a thumbs up and like the video and hit that subscribe button for me, please. Don't hit the neighbor's nice new fence. Don't hit the neighbor's nice fence, and don't leave a 10-foot gap. Without auto steer, it's like, this is like work. Like I gotta pay attention here. All right, I'm doing the last set of end rows here. It looks like a really nice day outside. Sun's been shining for a while here. It's beautiful. I don't know how warm it is. I've been in a cab for a couple of hours, but yeah, I'm gonna see if there's another field to go to or not. I don't really know. It's like 5 o'clock, so if I quit and go home, it's not the end of the world. But we're kind of right back behind the farm. Farm is that way, so I may check some of them fields that I sort of tried yesterday and were too wet. I don't know. We're gonna drive up that way anyway. All right, we just finished up over there. I made a round around the outside of that field. It's not bad, but there are some wet spots. It's not worth pushing it right now, so I'm folding her up. We're gonna go park this back up at the farm. Call her quits for the night. Yep, it is indeed pretty nice out here. Cleaning out my trash from the tractor cab. It is supposed to rain tonight, so I don't anticipate, well, and tomorrow's Easter. I'm not working tomorrow, even if I could. I don't anticipate being able to do anything on Monday because I expect it to be wet in the fields anyway. So I'll probably work on some other stuff. I don't know what, but we'll figure something out. So I hope you guys have enjoyed doing some tillage, being back in the fields. I know I'm certainly excited about it. I'm thinking right about now I should be planting beans, and I've actually done it, but I'm going to hold off because the fields where I wanted to plant them are just a little bit too wet, and my agronomists both said not a good idea. So patience. But next time it's dry enough, meaning next week, if we get there, it's time to go. So we're almost ready to start planting. I'll start planting corn the end of next week if I can, even if it is 50 degrees out, because it won't be 50 degrees for long when it's the end of April around here. So yeah, have a very happy Easter, everybody. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next week.